A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus. Trade with Switch Markets.
Are you still trading everything manually? More traders are moving to automation, running strategies 24/7, removing emotion, and staying consistent. Now with Switch Markets, you've got the tools to build and run your own automated trading systems, so your strategy delivers even when you're asleep.
Meet Switch Markets, a broker for ambitious people who want to trade the financial markets.
You mean that I can trade things like Forex, stocks, even gold with you?
Yes, you can even trade the coffee bean market with us.
What about digital currencies? Can I trade them too?
Absolutely. Maybe now's your time to get in.
Oh, and are you regulated?
Yes, we are.
And how easy is it to deposit and withdraw? Will you charge me any fees?
It's easy. Deposit and withdraw instantly. Nice and simple. And unlike that guy, we won't grab any fees from you.
Do you have a low spread trading account?
We certainly do. Pick from our zero commission or our low spreads account. It's up to you.
Okay then, what makes you so different from every other broker out there?
Our 5-star rated real human customer support and our perks package worth thousands. No other broker can beat it.
So, who did you say you were again?
Switch to success. Trade with Switch Markets.
Getting started in trading shouldn't be complicated. You can open an account, get set up, and be ready to go pretty quickly. Now, if you've been thinking about it, take a look. Click the link in the description below. You can even start with a free demo account.
In trading, like climbing, the hardest step is to pause, hold, and trust your position. Ambition pulls you forward. Focus keeps you steady. Together, they take you higher. Bring your ambition into focus. Switch Markets.
Already trading with another broker? Fair enough. But if you haven't looked around lately, you might be missing out. Now, Switch Markets is picking up awards, offering tools most brokers don't, and their support actually shows up. It might be time for you to switch to Switch Markets. Click the link in the description below to get started today.
Discipline starts before the first punch is thrown. Focus sharpens in silence. Repetition builds control. Every movement prepares you for the fight ahead. Trading isn't luck. It's preparation. It's grit. Your fight is won long before the bell even rings. Champions trade with Switch Markets. It's time to bring your ambition into focus.
Are you still with the same broker? Now, there are better options out there. There's more tools, better support, and a platform built for traders. It's time that you demand more from your broker. Take a look at Switch Markets. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trading Room. I'm Shane Vernier, and this is FOMC Minutes Live. Today, we're going to talk about the FOMC Minutes release that's coming up in about an hour. We're going to do some live trading. We're also going to cover some of the breaking news that we have at this hour, which is pretty staggering. Realistically, pretty staggering news. We're in a situation where we see the Iran war kicking back off. We had some WTI crude oil pricing come out today. Crude oil right now is driving the entire train. Equities are definitely getting slammed. You can see the VIX, the volatility index, is up about 7%. Trump is speaking at NATO, made some incredible comments that have sort of driven the markets, and I think it's just a crazy day. It's a great day to be in here. It's a great day to be trading. Let's get out to price action right now to get started. Okay, what we have here, August, WTI crude oil futures. I'm looking right there at the point of control. We've been doing a lot of market profile lately during the summertime. Not necessarily a bad time to be trading point of control. We're looking to buy right there, right above it, about a 74.17. As you can see, tremendous amount of volume during that U.S. session has come across the board in this area. Had a fantastic scalp a few minutes ago. You can see that value area high was right around 74.50, 74.40, 62% of the U.S. session. This WTI crude oil futures August contract has been very, very good. Fibonacci's have been great. 75 was a beautiful scalp. 74.40 was beautiful. And now we're looking to get the same type of thing accomplished here as we roll forward towards our point of control. So that's going to lead off with sort of a scalp trade idea. We're not really looking to make much money on this. A lot of people are going to say, Shane, it's not even worth being in there. We're going to rock two lots. We're looking for about six ticks, and we're looking for the path of least resistance. What does that mean? It means we have a pretty good idea that we're going to get paid off right from that zone. So that's going to be the opening trade on today's live stream. I did want to get started with a little price action because that one may go before we have a time to circle back around to it. So good to see everybody back in the room out there in YouTube land. Jason Max and Yo Shane, Yo Jay, what's happening? Doing very well here. I'm sure you guys are doing well. KFA, will the market go short later? Should I place a sell stop? Which market, KFA? Which market, KFA? Which one are you talking about? We're going to look at dozens of markets. We have a lot of trades that are actually active right now. I want to recap some of the things we did in the yen, some of the things we did in the dollar CAD. Also, Dell. We took a short on Dell. We also took a short on the euro Kiwi. We saw that one as well. So we got a lot of markets in play here. Sell stop, I don't know. Which market? Give me the market, and I'll tell you if you're short. Give me the market and your entry point. We'll pull a chart, and we'll go through the technicals. Let me see. BAT. Good to see you, BAT. Welcome. XEU USD. Absolutely. LN, what will happen to the XEU USD? We'll cover gold. I tell you what, we're going to cover gold right now. Why not? Give me 2 seconds, and we'll get that going for you. Tuku, good to see you over in the How to Trade community. Always a pleasure, guys. Andrea Garwal, nice to see you, Andrea. Welcome back. As far as gold goes, I got a lot to say about gold. Let's get to it. All right, on today's live stream, this is what we've got on tap for you today. We've got the FOMC Minutes, Kevin Walsh, and Iran war risk. We're going to look at interest rate expectations. We're going to talk a little bit about the minutes and what can actually, what we can actually glean from the minutes themselves. We've got a resumption of the Iran war, and that's something that we're going to cover that a little bit because that is the story today. It's going to overshadow the FOMC Minutes for sure. Kinetic strikes between the U.S. and Iran have been significant. These are not your kinetic strikes from a month ago. These are attacks. Trump making some huge statements earlier today about Iranian leadership and what he thinks of them. I think this thing's going hot, and I think it's going hot probably very, very soon. It's already hot. It's going to get hotter and hotter. Strait of Hormuz is closed for business. That's why we saw WTI crude oil spike, and we've also seen the U.S. dollar sort of flatline. The volatility index, the VIX, was up 12% earlier, and now we're up a little bit. Up about 5%. So we're going to cover that as well. As far as gold goes, let's just get right down to brass tacks. The trade idea that we put out yesterday, we were talking gold, and the reason why we were talking gold is because we thought that we were going to get a move. Well, I was looking for a pullback sell here. I was looking for a pullback sell from right around 4,500. Things have changed. Things have changed dramatically, and that's one of the things about putting out a trade idea that's going to be good for a given period of time. You need to be forward thinking. You need to have your levels already lined up and know what you're going to do if price gets there. I still like the sell from 4,500, but we're nowhere near that. And to be brutally honest with you, The Iran war has been a drag on gold. It's been a spike for oil. It's been a drag for gold. It's been a spike for U.S. T-bills. Treasuries went up today. Again, people pile into the 10-year note. So there's a lot going on here that doesn't really involve gold. So I wanted to sell 45. I wanted to sell 40. What was it? 44.94 was our entry. Yeah, 44.94 and a quarter. We're not going to get that anytime soon. So now we have to start thinking, okay, how am I going to trade this thing? How do I need to be trading this thing in the short term? So for me, I got a 13-month EMA up there at about 41.59. That's a pretty good short. Still about $100 away. This, beware. Last month's low. Absolutely imperative that you understand key levels and how they work. We're going to do some key level scalping a little bit later this week on Friday. You see that low right there, last month's low, 39.42.55. If you take that out down there, you're going to get a significant sell-off. So be ready for that. In order to sort of capitalize on that sell-off, now, we're going to get to the intraday time stuff here in a minute. We're going to go short time frames here, but I really want everybody to understand the macro picture for gold. It has been very hard. I won't even look at the weekly chart because the weekly chart, the price action and the symmetry is absolute garbage. So I'm not interested in even looking at it. All right, let's see. Our WTI trade's coming our way, 74.22. We're going to get right back to that one in a second. 74.19. All right, let's go ahead and have a look. We're going to change the subject here for a minute. All right, we're right down to our point of control here. Now, we'll get back to gold in just a second, but I want to execute this trade live for you. 74.19. We're looking to buy 74.17s. What we want to do, intraday time frame, we know we're right on our point of control. I'll dial it down to that 1-minute chart, and let's take a look at our price action in sort of a phone booth. Now, this is an extremely tight scalp. I want to hit this thing perfect, and then I want to bounce up. Did we already get a look at our entry point? The low, 74.17, and we didn't get filled. You see this a lot. I've seen it a lot in crude oil today. Let's go ahead and leave it and see what happens here. I like the opportunity potentially to get this long trade and build it on the fly. Theoretically, we should have already been out. Theoretically, we should have already been out. Is that frustrating? Drive you crazy. It'll drive you absolutely bananas. Bonkers town, right? 74 right there. We were at 74.17. The low of that bar is 74.17. We did not get filled. So what can we do right now to make this worth it for us? Number one, I could pull everything off the board. I can cancel the trade, move on to the next trade. I can certainly do that. Do whatever I want, okay? Is that a good thing to do? More than likely, yes. In this situation, yes. However, there's one other thing you can do that may actually help you in the future. We were shading our entry there by about 2 ticks. Let's put this thing right down to 15. Let's put it right on the point of control and see if we can get a little bit of love right there. We'll leave our profit target right up there, right around 23. Make this worth a little bit more. And if we come back down, if price comes back down and hits us and fills us, then it's meant to be. This way, we missed out on what I call the easy money. We had that shaded beautifully. And, of course, it rockets up in our favor. And, that is one of the biggest lessons in all of trading. You cannot let stuff like that bother you. If you're going to be in this game for any length of time, I can tell you that's happened to me. That's happened to me today. That happened to me on Monday. That's part of it. That's part of it. So always remember that if you get hit and you don't get filled, you have to make a decision. Do you pull the trade? Do you go with the trade? If it's a position trade, like I'm going to show you here in a little bit on our 920 EMA crossovers, don't worry about it. But if it's a scalp, a hot scalp, like right there, bam. If we're filled perfectly, if we're in and we're out, that's $120 back to me. That could have probably made my session. Realistically, if I had another good trade in the morning, I probably was looking to walk away with $300 or $400 today. That's probably the icing on the cake, and I'm ready to go home. Don't let it drive you crazy. Don't let this game in your head. Don't let it in your head. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but don't let it in your head. It's going to come back down. If it fills us up, great. We get filled. We're looking for that pop right back up to 23. If we get wiped out, we take a loss on it, that's life. That's the way it is. But that shot right at the point of control is absolutely beautiful. Market profile in the summer months. If you know how to do it, I can tell you what, that's a pretty good way to trade. That's pretty much what I've been focused on exclusively lately. Let's see, Ralph H. Good to see you, Ralph. Welcome. Graham, did the FOMC minutes happen yet? Nope. Ben, should I sell gold? FOMC idea, SWAD. Yeah, I got some ideas. XAU USD. Everybody wants to know what's going on with gold. All right, so we've got our key levels going for gold. Number one, no last month's low. That area right there, if we trade beneath it, more than likely we're going to break. This level, potentially for later this week, is about as strong as it gets. 3,700. I've got a Bollinger midpoint down there. 37.32. You've also got 37.09. Long-term levels, we know exactly what we want to do. We're net sellers up there from about 41.60, and we're buyers down here at 37. So as soon as this market moves, we're ready to roll. Now, if you want to play a scalp trade, you could sell right beneath last month's low. It's right there for you. So if you get an opportunity to sell down there, you probably could get away with that, but that's a scalp. That's not a big-time trade. That is a scalping trade. No question about it. All right, so let's take this right down to the intraday stuff and have a look at what's going on my 30-minute chart. That's my bread and butter to trade these intraday commodities. Well, this is pretty good stuff. I haven't broke down this strategy in a long time, and probably none of you are going to know what it is. It's a Bollinger W. There's a move. There's your outside bottom number 1. There's your pullback. Boom. Bottom number 2. Big green candle. That suggests that potentially you're looking to take a long here when it comes to the 30-minute chart and gold. You would be looking to go long on that strategy. Is it a good thing to do? We're down a little bit today, 4,000. If I was going to go long, let's just say I'm going to execute this W strategy for you. Right here, we go to paper trading. Everything I do here is denominated in fake dollars, paper money, whatever you want to call it, simulator dollars. It all spends the same if you're a prop trader, I can tell you that. Okay, so we go right here. Let's go to an order. Let's go ahead and just throw, let's see, I don't want that big, I don't want that much size down on this. Let's just go 10. That should give us a little bit of love here. Let's go to a buy. Let's go buy market. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by this W strategy. Now, what the Bollinger W is it's a way to get in on the bottom of a market. So the idea is very simple. You have a nice big bearish directional move. You have a nice low outside of the lower Bollinger Band. That's number 1. Number 2, you have a defined pullback. We have that as well. Number 3, that is your second low. Your second low must be inside of the Bollinger Band. It can be lower than the first low, but it must be inside of the lower bracket, the lower Bollinger Band. Then you wait for a big green candle. Is this a big green candle? No. Is that? Absolutely. What's our entry? Right there at the top of the big green candle. All right. That's a Bollinger W. I wasn't expecting one of those to show up today. There it is. I haven't seen one of those that good in a long time. So where'd my stop loss be? You got to put it beneath. You got to put it beneath the W in its own. So your stop loss here is like 4,016, somewhere in that zone. What's your take profit? I'm a big fan of 1-to-1s. I would have it at least at a 1-to-1. However, market structure is a way that many of you trade. I had an opportunity to watch some live streamers yesterday that were live streaming on an extremely popular prop firm, and they were going back and forth, and all they talked about was all market structure concepts. I don't really buy into much of it. I really don't. I think the numbers make the structure. Nobody out there is really saying that. I'll say it. So let's say we wanted to shoot for, say, an order block. Back in the old days, that's what we called them. We called these value areas. We traded right there sideways, boom, 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 boom. And then right there sort of was your trade. So what would I be looking for right now? Probably be going long based on that Bollinger W. Probably be going long. Now, the beauty of this trade is it has all 3 things you need to get into the market. It's got a finite stop loss. I know once the W is gone, I'm toast. I got to go. I also have an out. I got a profit target. Okay, top of market structure right there. Throw it down, go with it, right? And we also have a concrete entry, a finite entry, big green bar after the second low inside of the bracket. There you have it. Now, if you're interested in ideas like these, if you're interested in strategies like these, head on over to the How to Trade Trading Room, get a free subscription. All of these strategies are located inside of our Trading Academy. So you're going to want to check that one out there. I remember building out the Bollinger W strategy video and PDF and tutorial on it. It's a strategy I really like. The problem that you run into with the W is that it's more of a swing trading type of a thing, especially on a 30-minute chart. Pretty good trade, though, and it's working like a charm. Let's wait and see exactly how it goes. Let me see 3 minutes gospel. I'm sorry, I don't understand the language, but thank you for dropping in. Rocket Memes. Hello, Rocket. Graham, did the FOMC Minutes happen yet? No, it did not. FOMC Minutes happens in about 45 minutes from now. We're going to go ahead and check that one out. Euro USD, Chuk. Okay, I'll take one more, and then we're going to get on with the program here today. This WTI trade, we should have hit that one. That was, look, we even had a second test of this area. I'm not playing around anymore. That scalp's gone. So, okay, we're looking at the Euro USD. A lot of thoughts on the Euro USD. 1 minute chart, you can see we're absolutely exploding to the top side. Let's go ahead and put our synthetic trader on, I guess, whatever you want to call it. 1 minute chart. Huge trend, lots of volatility. We're moving around. That's fantastic. A lot of reasons for it. Let's take this right down to a 30-minute chart and see exactly what's happening. Okay, one thing I do not recommend, time price offering charts or market profile. Don't use them in OTC markets. You don't know what the volume is. We use those in futures or stock markets because we know exactly how many shares or contracts have changed hands. We don't use them in OTC markets because OTC volumes can be skewed just a bit. That being said, let's back up a little bit. I always like top-down analysis. I'm a big fan of really making sure that I know exactly what's going on with regards to our long-term technicals, and really there they are. You know, you get into these situations and you say, what should I do? And typically it's always a question of, should I have already acted? Yes, you should have. 113.54, that was the name of the game. That was our long term. We had this flag worked out for a long time. Monthly chart, 38% retracement, right around 113.50, right? Let's go down to a daily. I mean, there it is. There's your test. There's your rally. You're looking to get long from about 113.54. Nice high. Nice top side high right there, 114.73. To be honest with you, I'm already gone. I'm already downtown eating steak. I'm putting a down payment on a new car. In my view, that particular trade is pretty much done. That one's cooked. It's over. Now, if you're taking a position from down here, great. You're going to be in it a while to get any meaningful moves. The Euro USD not really moving a whole lot. So right here, you've got a very, very tight day. So number one, I wouldn't be afraid to scalp down there again at 113.56, 113.50. I would not be afraid to go long down there again. I think that could be a pretty good way to approach this. However, let's pull up our intraday stuff and see what we have. It's just really difficult. I mean, it's really, really difficult. What do you have here? Sell-off, sort of wandering around here, and then what do you got? A little bit of a break to the top side. I mean, if you wanted to trade, if you were stoked up and you said, Shane, I need a trade right now, we go to a 5-minute chart. What do we have on the 5-minute? Do we have anything? Well, we have a nice big bull run that started, about an hour ago, about an hour and a half ago, something like that. Nice big rally. So, the dollar sort of losing a bit of its puff late in the day here in the States. How would I even trade that? If you want to be super aggressive, you could put Fibonacci's on this. I would avoid it. Let's step back. Let's try a different strategy for the Euro USD. What I would be looking at is probably the 920 EMA crossover for this one. So what I would do is dial this down. I would go right there to my coded 920, and let's go ahead and just rock it. Okay, there it is. Okay, that's the dollar-yen trade. We're going to talk more about that in just a second. But you can see this trade right here, 4-hour chart Euro USD. All right, Euro USD. What do you have? You got a buy signal that's retraced, and now you've got sort of a sell signal. The 920, the way that it's traded, the 9 crosses under the 20, you're looking to sell. The 9 crosses over the 20, you're looking to buy. Essentially, that's what we're doing. So when we start to see the U.S. dollar maybe losing a little bit of steam, going into a key event like the FOMC Minutes, is it a good idea to be taking a crossover trade? It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. We just don't have a crossover yet. So 4-hour chart, my bread and butter for the Forex. I think it's really great. You're definitely going to want to be looking for this crossover to develop here probably in the next 4 hours. If you do get a crossover, then you go long. It's sort of that long is going to supersede that short. Now, let's go to a 30-minute chart. Okay, now it's already setting up. Okay, this is what I want. You can see nice little pop off of that 30-minute chart. Nice little sell, actually. You could sell right there yesterday. Or earlier today. Nice move. And now we're looking to reverse that. That's one that we maybe put a pin in. It's going to go live here in about the next 11 minutes. Let's put a pin in that one. I'm going to move that one down with our other 920 trades, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Pretty good stuff there, though. I think that could potentially be a trade. Our gold trade's down a little bit. What's WTI doing? Fell back down to that point of control. So this has been an interesting session thus far. I'm watching gold, though. I'm watching gold. We'll wait and see if we do get that rally. I think we're going to get it, to be honest with you. But we just got to wait and see how it pans out. All right, we got a whole bunch of questions in there. Please reply. I'm doing the best I can, guys. You got a lot of folks in here. All right, we've already covered a short or long on the FOMC news. We're going to talk about the FOMC here in a minute. I personally think that you're probably, I don't know if I'd get caught long stocks today. We'll look at some stocks here in a minute. I don't know that I'd be doing that with the war news. That's for sure. Mohammed, hello there. Hello, Mohammed. How are you? I'm doing very well here. Ayush, please reply. Well, short or long, it's kind of up to you. I don't think I would be going long on the FOMC news today. I don't believe I'd be going long at all. That's for sure. Eugalista, love your videos. Thank you. Thank you, Yuga. I sure appreciate it. Uaga, I sure appreciate it. Thank you for watching. It's always fun to make them, that's for sure. All right, let's see. I got a few comments in here we'll cover, and then we'll get right back to it. Last week on weekly gold, closed bullish above the close of the previous week, but not the high, giving the indication that it will retrace further. Instead, it fell just after sweeping the previous week's high. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll watch this W as I'm reading some of these interesting stuff. So last week on the weekly gold closed bullish above the close of the previous week, okay? But not that high, giving an indication that it will retrace further. Instead, it fell just after sweeping the previous week's high. One thing to remember about that type of thing, when you're buying or selling above a previous day's high, a previous week's high, a previous month's high, a yearly high, there's going to be action there. There's going to be buyers and sellers at those levels. So even though we don't know really which way the market's going to go at any given time, we know that where there's going to be action, and where there's action, you're certainly going to want to get involved. Let me see. Do you think the SPY is going to break out today after the FOMC? Well, I mean, it's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good question. We'll go S&P 500 in a second. Mohammed, what's expected forecast for the FOMC, hawkish or dovish? I think it's going to be mixed. We'll talk about it in a second. Hey, everybody, all this trading, good to see you. Let me see, buy or sell from Napa, buy or sell, buy or sell. Well, I'm long gold right now. We pulled our U.S. oil trade. That was a good idea. That one's going to get pretty dirty. Let me see, will gold touch 4,000 today? No, I don't believe so. I think we're going the other way. I'm sort of bullish on this W formation. We're sort of creeping higher here, up a few bucks. How many minutes does the FOMC last for? We're going to talk about it, Dennis. Today's FOMC minutes is not an FOMC meeting. You're not going to see Kevin Warsh out there talking. It's not a press conference. What it is it's a written release. And what they're going to do is they're going to release a statement. And then it's going to be up to us to go through the statement and figure out what's different. And that can be a very arduous process. You'll notice that you're going to see price action is going to be delayed. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to be delayed. So I'm going to tell you all about how to trade the FOMC minutes in just a second. A few of the things I do want to cover, though. Let's see. SpaceX right here is getting slammed today. I put this out on X earlier today. Shane V _ on X, and you can see right there. Or you just search Shane for an area. You can find me there. 148.84, really a negative session for SpaceX. That 150 level has been under incredible pressure. Institutional open was at 135. That's absolutely huge. I think we go right back down to 135. Don't be surprised if that's where we end up. Big time stuff right there, big time stuff, but I'm interested. I think we're going to go to 135. Personally, I've got my buy orders down at 125. It could be very, very good, very, very good. So we're going to go ahead and check that out as well. Inverted hammer formation at the top of SpaceX. Then we just come down, 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 and now we're crashing. Life's going to get tough under there. We're going down to 135. That's going to happen relatively quickly. That would be my guess. All right. Let me see. Mohammed, are you in any trade or will you just execute it at release? Yeah, we're already in a trade. We're in that gold trade. That one's picking up some steam. We've also got a few other trades to recap here that I'm going to go over in just a second. Today, RBNZ interest rate decision was a big one. FOMC minutes was a big one as well. You can see that we're getting ready for the FOMC minutes. The New Zealand dollar was all over the place. I'm going to show you exactly what happened during the overnight. We had a key level that we did point out. Absolutely huge. What we got right here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, psychology, pedal to the metal. We're trading hard today. We're going hard. You want to make your money. You make it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mondays are for getting momentum going. Fridays are for saving momentum. Monday, Tuesday, Monday is a duck. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when you make your money. Friday's when you save your money and get ready to do it all over again. I've been doing this since 2011, ran the numbers, did my own historical analysis of my own trading. It's not even worth it for me to trade Mondays. Mondays are out. Fridays, I've had some good Fridays. Typically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when I perform, and that's when I want to trade. It's all systems go. For right this minute, let's cover a little bit of news. The MOU's over. Strikes resume. No question about it. You can see that Iran and the United States have teed off again on each other. You can see live updates. Iran war back on after Tehran attacks in Hormuz triggered Trump to declare the ceasefire over. So the ceasefire is officially, that's not official yet, but it's pretty much dead. Trump today threatens more strikes, saying ceasefire is over. You can see that the strike comments shake the markets. Brent crude spikes. U.S. hits Iran with powerful strikes on Straits of Hormuz. That's not all Iran hit. Iran hit Bahrain and Kuwait, threatening a larger regional war. No question about it. So that larger regional war is exactly, and I mean exactly, why we're seeing the big moves in, say, UK oil. I mean, this is a good look at the UK oil market 4-hour chart. You can look at a 4-hour for UK oil because it is sort of the global. It's the global benchmark. WTI is sort of the U.S. benchmark for light sweet crude, but UK oil definitely important. Nice big pullback here. But let's say you're looking at what's going on, let's say with this UK oil CFD in a broader sense. 75 was huge for us. It was a pre-war gap area. It's going to be downside support yet again. So if I was taking a good look at what's happening here and I wanted to make a trade and I was serious about it, 75 was big. 75 was really big. For Brent, UK oil, what would I be looking to do? I really like the top side of this market now, somewhere right around maybe 76, 75, something like that. That could be absolutely huge. So if you're trading UK oil and you wanted to put in a potential trade right there, it would not be a bad one. Would not be a bad one. Now, what's happened to U.S. oil since we pulled the plug on this thing? Crashing. Absolutely crashing. We're coming off in a big, big way. I want to show you this real quick. This is U.S. oil August futures. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening here. We love the point of control. It tested us twice. We pulled the order. That's how you do it. That's how you trade. Remember, if it tests you a couple times and you don't get it, pull it. Pull it. Who cares? Right now, what are we looking to do? U.S. oil chart, I still like the bullish side of this thing. The TPO charts aren't really much good from that distance. But this right here, this could be very, very nice for us. 73.97, August, WTI crude oil futures, something like that. Beautiful. 72.64. What else do you have right there? You have a 13-day EMA. It's 72.66. This is good stuff. I don't have any problem at all. Remember, these are paper dollars. I don't want any regulators calling me up saying, Shane, you can't be trading real money. That makes you an investment advisor. I am not an advisor. I am a trader. I am just like all of you. I've just been doing this probably for a little bit longer. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to dial this one in from right around 70. Let's buy 72.70s. Let's buy 72.69s. Let's go 74s. 72.75 is what we're going to put down there. Let's go ahead and put a buy limit order there with a couple. I don't even like that. Let's put 4. If we're going to do it, let's do it for some cash. Let's go with that buy order. If we do get that opportunity potentially a little bit later in the stream, we may actually get that trade idea. It's a good one. That's a pretty good one. It's tough to argue with that right there. 67 is sort of your broad low right there. 76.12, 76.08 right up in there. That's a pretty good area. But what I really like about it's the EMA. The EMA gives us a chance. Might take profit there. A lot of volatility out there. We may be looking for something somewhere. I really like 20s, especially on positions. Something like that. Maybe 20 pips. We'll go ahead and give that a look. All right, so there's just been an absolute lot going on over the last several hours. You can see the MOU is over, so that's why we are sort of covering crude oil the way we're covering it. That's the market that's rocking and rolling for right this minute. During the overnight RBNZ interest rate decision, the RBNZ did raise interest rates by 1/4 point. They kicked them from 2.25 up to 2.5, and what did we have? We had fun. That's what we had. We had fun trading. I was a little bit hesitant about this level. However, I did hand it out and said, if you want to trade it, trade it. I really wanted to see a test of 57.75 up there where my line in the sand is. That was my short. That's the one where you back the truck up, back up the Brinks truck and look to get in there and get live. But as far as what we ended up doing, it's very good. Very, very good. Nice, really a nice nice spike low back on the 26th of June. Beautiful test of our 38% retracement. This is a nice big bearish trend. 38% retracement is the line in the sand for a strong trend to remain valid. Strong trend right there. Pull back. Hit it beautifully on the 2nd of July. Paid us off beautifully. Paid us off again on the 3rd of July. This one was a close one. 6th of July, still pretty good. The high was right there at about 14. Paid us off. And then we took a day off. And then yesterday, RBNZ gets involved. The Kiwi, the NZD, USD drives higher, and what do we have? We go up to 57.16, and we do get that. We get that sell in there beautifully, and it just worked as a great scalp. I mean, just an absolutely fantastic scalp. I love that level. I'm probably done playing it now. I don't see playing that one again, and I wouldn't play it again just because, well, quite frankly, you could wake up in a world of hurt once that market breaks. So if you're trading the Kiwi, I think I'd pretty much be done shorting 57.16s. Next port of call, 57, 75s, 57, 70s, and then we can get involved there. Over in the How to Trade community, Bobby Bob, always a pleasure to meet you, Bobby, or meet you. Haven't met you yet, probably someday, but always a pleasure to see you in here, Bobby. Good stuff. I mean, really a fun day, a fun trading day, developing into a fun trading week in one of these weeks that you can do very, very well on just a few weeks like this. All right, we did have a few other trades involving the Kiwi I wanted to hit on. This one right here. This one sort of reversed a little bit against us, but it's still very positive. Euro Kiwi. Now, this is a good look at our 9 EMA strategy that we put out over at Switch Markets. We've got the strategy pack, the videos, the instructionals, the free EA that gives you sort of the signals, the buy and the sell signals. That's all available for you there. This was a really nice trade. We executed this off a pullback, really nice sell yesterday, and you can see it's performing. You're up about $333. Nice performance. It was pretty good earlier. I think it was pretty good earlier. If you were just playing a real tight scalp in there, you're probably already out of the market. I'm going to go ahead and just let it run and see what happens, sort of a swing trade. But that Euro's Kiwi, we knew the Kiwi was going to have some action because of the RBNZ. So we took the short, and this is over on our MT5 trading platform powered by Switch Markets. So if you're interested in a broker, be sure you head on over to Switch and check them out. They'll get you up and running with MT5, free demos, really anything you want to, free demos, free EAs, free tools, you name it. The resources there and the value added for traders is big. All right. Now, they can't all be winners, and it can't all be good news. However, we're not dead yet in this Dell U.S. trade, this short. You'll remember Monday, Trump came out and made a big statement about Dell, pumped the market. And I mean pumped the market higher, and now you can see the market really driving up towards about 436. Well, we took a sell. And the reason why we took a sell is this gap area. That's a huge gap area for Dell. And that gap's right around 350, somewhere down in there. So we essentially were looking to take that trade. We ended up selling, 410, something like that, 407s. Take profit. Conservatively is down here about 340, 345, somewhere in that zone, 338. And you can see that this market keeps grinding higher. So there's a big thing that we always say, or I always say in the markets, there's 3 rules. Gaps get filled, gaps get filled, gaps get filled, right? Tremendous gap right here for Dell. This is a nice big gap down here for Dell. I would bet a lot of money that it's going to get filled up at some point. However, we can't wait forever. Our stop loss is right up here, right above this swing high that developed back on the, back in late May. Right there, that's our swing high. We've got our stop loss right above that zone. So as of right now, we're in a holding pattern with this Dell short. Not really having that much fun with it. It's sort of kicking our tail a little bit, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We're still rocking and rolling and moving forward, but I do like that trade. I definitely like that one. As far as some of our other news, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll answer a bunch of your questions, as many as you've got here in a minute. MBA 30-year mortgage rates today ticked higher by 0.01%. Nothing really to see here. We're all waiting. We're waiting on the Iran war. We're waiting on the Fed minutes. We're waiting on all of it. We're waiting on something that's going to tell us, really give us a good idea about what Kevin Warsh in this market may do. All right, let's go ahead and check in a little bit on our gold trade. Gold trade's looking pretty good. We're up a little bit, up about 70. We did have a 30-minute signal coming on for the Euro USD. Okay, there it is. We're going to go ahead and trade this thing. We're going to buy. We're going to go buy limit. I'm going to go buy market order right this minute. Let's go ahead. How many units? Let's go ahead and go with that many units. All right. Work out your leverage. Remember, 1 to 3% of your account balance on any given trade. And this essentially is our play going into the FOMC minutes. Euro USD, 920 EMA crossover. The 9 crossed over the 20. Now we're looking to go long. Let's put the profit target up there. I could put my stop loss right here to keep it relatively tight, or we could go beneath the swing low. Let's wait and see how this one pans out. It may turn out to be potentially a swing trade where we're in for a few days potentially, but something like that, nice sort of 1-to-1 risk versus reward. That trade's right in my wheelhouse. It's got all 3 things I need. I've got an entry, I've got a finite out beneath that swing low, and then I've got a viable profit target, something that we could reach. 114.66. We're trading 114 and a quarters right now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We can do that. Let's wait and see what happens with the FOMC minutes. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Gold seller a buy. We're already long. I'm already long on that. Let me see. On price action on this Monday and Tuesday is very bad. Yeah, 100% on. The price action for Monday was horrible. Was absolutely horrible. I said it at the time. We made a few bucks on our TPO trades, but realistically, It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. Let me see. Jossie, option put. Option put? I don't know. I mean, you could, I guess, if you wanted to. Markets dancing around. Babji is good to see you, Bab. Markets dancing around the campfire thanks to Donald J. Trump. That's a fact, Bab. Everything Trump says seems to shake things up, and he was a tired gentleman. Let me see. Patrick, what do you think about FOMC meeting minutes, speaking or data? There's not going to be any speaking here. We're going to go ahead and break this down. Let me see, Robert. I told you guys, gold will break today and spike. Ask me if your stop loss is in. Well, I mean, we're long on that Bollinger W. Let me see, 27 minutes. So we're looking, the FOMC minutes are going to drop here in 25 minutes. So they haven't come across yet, 25 minutes. That's exactly what they're going to do. Let me see, a lot of going, gold sell? No, I'm not into the gold on the short side. Let me see. Michael, is the SPY bullish or bearish after the minutes? Okay, that was a good question, and I did sort of lose it there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look here. SPY. All right, so you're trading S&P 500, an ETF, an ICE ETF. Does it spike after the, I don't know. Does it spike after the release, I guess? I don't really think so, guys. I think I see this as being, I mean, we're getting a bit of a buyback right now, but right now, I mean, it's all about the news. It's all about the news cycle. It's about Trump. It's about Iran. It's about the U.S. So right this minute, I don't necessarily believe that you're going to get the price action that we think we're going to get. So right there's an SPY in your daily. You're only off about 0.25%. So that is a good look at your S&P 500 with that ETF. All right, that's fine and dandy. Let's just go right there to the SPX 500. Okay, now we're off about 0.25%. We've got daily chart that's all over the place. We had a nice big tail. I mean, a nice big one. You know, the rebound is on right now in stocks, though. We see the Dow down big, and now the NASDAQ is broken positive. But take a look at what we have here. So what do you think? I mean, if your idea was to play a spike after the release on the S&P 500, after the FOMC minutes, I don't see it. I think that if I was doing this, if I was trading this market, I'd say, okay, let's go right here to a 30-minute chart. What's going on with our daily price action? It's another one of those W's I showed you. Bollinger W. Boom, boom, right? So what can we really do now? Not much. First thing that I would look at is if I was even trading this, I would take this to E-mini S&P 500 futures. I would go right here. I want my time price offering charts. I want to know exactly what this looks like. Now, one of the things about saying, okay, do we go with a spike? No volume hardly, Josh. So you just got to turn it up. You got to turn your, I don't know, my levels look like they're going pretty well, so I think that we're rocking and rolling. In any case, right here, we've got a value area up in here. You got a point of control here in this S&P 500 futures. Overnight point of control. There's the U.S. session point of control. What's happening? This area right here was an incredibly thin chain, and it's being filled in. So if you were looking for a spike and you wanted to buy this market, buy the S&P 500. I don't hate it. You could definitely trade up to this, probably this point of control. I would say this overnight area right around 75.50-ish. You could probably take a shot at it. But should we buy from right here? No. So if we wanted to go long, what I would recommend doing is taking a Fibonacci off of this U.S. range, which is right there. Nice big U.S. low. That's the New York low. Right in here is sort of the recent high. That pullback right around 75.10. Yeah, if we could get it in the next 20 minutes before the big show starts with the FOMC minutes, hell yes, take it. I don't have a problem with that. So let's go ahead and build the trade. I'll build out exactly what I mean. So you'd be looking on the buy side of this. We would be going buy limit, something like that, right above that 38%. Now, what's tricky about this, one unit now? We'll rock 2 contracts, about $25 a tick. Okay, let's go ahead and put the buy limit order down. So how are we going to manage this thing? Well, we got some challenges. If we're buying right here, 75.11, I know 75 is probably where the game's going to be played. 75 is what? The bottom of our value area right there, right? So if we were going to take a position, theoretically I could lock my stop in somewhere down here. Something like that. If I was going to do that, does my take profit up here sort of towards the top of the value, is it worth it? Yeah, it is. You're looking for a return back up in here. That would be a risk versus reward of what? Roughly 2.5 to 1, something like that. It's not the worst trade in the world. However, you've got to get the pullback first. In my opinion, if you buy right now waiting for that spike after the FOMC minutes, I think you're going to run into trouble. Now, is it a good idea to be taking this trade? It's high risk. Just like our gold trades, high risk because we don't know what the FOMC minutes is going to do. We don't know who the hell's 4 rate hikes. We don't know who's 4 rate cuts. We don't know any of it. But this type of trade right here, I would say it's high risk. Now, what you could do to make it not so high risk is maybe do something like this. Put that stop loss maybe right there, somewhere like that, or maybe right beneath that point of control, potentially. Put your stop loss there. Maybe bring your profit target down into here somewhere. Now we're buying the middle. That's what we call playing the middle. You're playing the middle of the U.S. range. Nobody can really see you in there. You're not really waiting for the point of control because you like the bullish price action over the past 2 hours. I think you have an opportunity there potentially to make a little bit of money. I just don't think it's a lot of bit of money. I really don't. I really don't. Something to think about there. If you are looking at the S&P 500, gold, Shelvin. Yeah, we're gonna get back over to gold. Let's see. Our gold trade's getting hit a little bit now, but that's okay. Dovish or hawkish, negative, gold crash, gold buy or sell, gold buy or sell. You guys all trade gold. I love it. I'll tell you what, we'll look at some. I'll tell you what we will do. If you guys have never looked at gold futures, this is a good look at August gold futures. 30-minute chart, bread and butter for the TPOs and the market profiles. What would I be looking to do right now for gold? We're trading inside of today's value area. Point of control during that overnight. That's the area where we've done the most business. Call it a value area. Call it an order block, whatever. Point of control for the U.S. sessions right there. Volumes, way down. They've dropped way down. This right here would be a Fibonacci retracement in concert with your point of control. So you're looking at about 4066 and then right there 4063. So the trade would be relatively easy for me. It would be a buy limit somewhere right in here. Right in that area. Let's see, we'll rock two lots. So something like that, gold futures, Augie gold futures, take profit, put it right up in there somewhere. Looking for a quick bump off of this zone right here. It's pretty good. It's not a bad area. The problem you're going to run into is having enough volume down there to get in there and get the job done. That's going to be really difficult. That's going to be difficult. So you definitely want to be able to get the job not necessarily done on the first time down, but you definitely don't want to hang around and try to build this thing into some sort of fortune. I don't believe you want to do that. I think that could be really tough. Euro USD, we had a question. Yeah, we already got a sort of a long going here. Euro USD, doesn't surprise me at all. We're pulling back a little bit. Still, I like this 30-minute long signal. Even if we pull back down into this area before heading to the top side, not a bad position. Here's a real similar trade that we took earlier this week. We had a nice pullback bid on the US dollar Japanese yen, 920 EMA crossover. You can see the coded signal was right there. We bought it on a pullback, something like this. Very doable. I want to be long over 162. I want to be long over 162. If I'm playing the dollar yen, I want to be holding longs over 162. That was the key level. It finally blew up, and then we got all over it. Let me see. Praveen, place a limit order on both sides in gold. If we're looking at gold futures, I'm not really interested. I'm looking to play the center of that U.S. range. To me, that's where we did all the business. I mean, if we don't catch a little bump back up into there, the market's dead, very, very dead. So we want to understand what we're doing there. I'm looking to get just in there just for a few minutes, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. That's for sure. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're talking about here with our FOMC minutes. We're getting ready to drop these in about 15 minutes from now. I think it's going to be a fun event. Remember, a couple of things you need to know about the FOMC minutes. Number one, it is a written report, okay? That means that it's going to put out a document, and they're going to talk about who fought for rate hikes, who fought for rate cuts, who did this, who did that, who said this, who said that. The biggest thing that we got to remember is it takes time for the FOMC minutes to be digested. It takes time. So when we're in there and we're trading, understand that right away, when it drops in about 15 minutes from now, it doesn't necessarily go crazy. The market doesn't necessarily go crazy. What happens is everybody steps back. They say, okay, what does this mean? There's one thing we need to be focused on. One thing. And that's what's going on in that boardroom. How big is the fight? This headline right here, I think, encapsulates it all. It's from CNBC. I'm not a fan of CNBC, but they seem to be doing better these days. Fed meeting minutes to show family fight over rates. The squabble could drag on for a while. What does it mean? Fed officials all indicated they will address persistent inflation this year with one interest rate hike and then hold off. Okay. A lot of people are talking about one rate increase. The committee does not generally do that. I mean, what's the point of that? Former St. Louis Fed President Jim Bullard told CNBC. Markets will get more clues Wednesday when the Fed's policy direction, when the committee releases minutes from the 16th and 17th. They're going to put out a written statement. I want everybody to understand that. This is not a press conference. Jerome Powell, Kevin Warsh, these guys are not talking. All right? This gentleman here is not due to speak. They're going to put out a written thing. I can't stress that enough. It is a written engagement. Okay. This is what matters. What matters 21 days from now is the next FOMC meeting. The real question is what are we going to do with interest rates? Are you going to get that hike? 3.50 to 3.75. That's where we're at. Look at this. This is changing. This is changing dramatically. Right now, it's about 65-35 that we get a rate hike next month. And all of that angst comes from the divide in that boardroom. Some people want to hike rates right now to combat the higher energy costs, but the energy costs sort of came down. We're not at $100 crude oil anymore. We're at 70, 73, 77 right now. So what can we really do to boost the economy, to control inflation? A lot of people would argue, say, hey, wait a minute. Let's let the energy shock work its way through and not hike yet and wait. Take a wait-and-see approach. This is very high for what we expect for next month. This is my barometer. I always look at the end of the year, the 9th of December, 2026. That's the last meeting of the year. Where are interest rates going to be as we roll in to January 1st? When we put on our little hats and we get the beers out and the champagne and all that, where are our interest rate expectations going to be? Where do we expect them to be? Take a look at this. Look at that. 86% chance we get at least a 25 basis point rate hike. 60% says we land in this range. Do we go over 4? Potentially. We could definitely go over 4. So what does all this mean for the U.S. dollar? This is the U.S. dollar index. Definitely, I want to stress this chart. This is probably the most important chart for the U.S. dollar that there is out there. No question about it. What is this? Swore in Donald Trump back then, right? January 2025, major crash right there, and then we sort of rotated, and then we bounced up right to our key resistance zone. This Fibonacci retracement level is the biggest one for the dollar. This, if you want to know how the dollar is doing, and from a macro perspective, from a sophisticated perspective, you pull that chart and you don't look back. From that high right there, Trump's inauguration, all the way down to the lows that developed right before this war, right there, 38% Fibonacci retracement, 101.15. That's huge. That's the level. Monthly, long-term level, right now, we're slugging it out at that zone. 101.02 right now. So as long as we're beneath that threshold, I would say that the dollar is going to be bearish. However, if we break above that threshold and we start trending higher, 102.88, 104.61, then there is a lot, and I mean a lot happening. Definitely want to be sure that you're aware of where the dollar sits with regards to the rest of the majors. That's a big one. That right there is a big one. For me personally, what if we see the Fed back off of rate hikes altogether? What happens if they say, okay, we let the energy shock's going away, maybe they sign another MOU, maybe Trump and Iran come to a handshake deal here in the next 72 hours, and everybody goes back to normal and they all feel great about themselves? Do we still cut, or do we still hike interest rates? I don't think so. I think if this situation's under control in the next 3 weeks, they don't hike interest rates. But if it gets out of control and you start to see the Strait of Hormuz close, which it is right now, and oil prices jam, we're up about 5% WTI crude oil futures today. What does that mean to us? It means that energy inflation comes back in. It means that this dollar more than likely is going to strengthen because the U.S. Treasuries are going to go up. Gold probably going to go down. We start all over again, just like we did last March. The news, guys. The news is going to tell us everything. Let's take a look at our crude oil futures. That's the trade we want. We want 72. We want 72, 75. We may get it. Right now we're trending lower, 73, 78. If we get a shot down there, we're in great shape. Our gold trade's starting to fade bad now. You can see this one's coming off a little bit. We may get this shot at gold. Could be pretty good. Could be a pretty good trade location. S&P 500 coming off a little bit now, 75.20-ish. Let's go to our S&P 500 trade. Interesting stuff. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Turn our TPOs on. This could be pretty good. This would be the type of setup that I would be very interested in going into the FOMC minutes here. Very interested. Let me see. Joe Carrera, when is the FOMC? In about 9 minutes. T-minus 9 minutes. Let me see. 1 or 1:30, 1 o'clock. If you're a Central Time, it's going to be 1 o'clock. Not going into any trade at the moment. Marvel. That's smart, Marvel. Mr. Carter, is the USD weak? Yep. In the macro sense, it is weak, but as the war picks up, it is not weak. If the war kicks off, you're not weak. It's going to get strong in a hurry. All right, let's go see Fed. Let's go Fed meeting minutes. This is where we'll be looking as soon as this thing drops. We're going to go ahead and see about the minutes. We want the minutes from the 16th and 17th. That right there, the statement. We don't have the statement yet. What we want is the minutes. They're going to drop the minutes here in about 9 minutes from now. Let's say in minutes a lot. We'll pull it up. I'll look through it. We'll look at some of the headlines. We'll see some price action and see exactly what's happening with regards to some of these trades. Euro, let's see, Euro USD coming down a little bit. Not really too worried about it. Just a little symmetry there. Dollar yen sort of flatlining. We're holding longs in both of those. Sort of favoring the dollar here. That's more of a macro trade. That's a position trade. We're looking for a big move up to right around 165 there. Not today, but that's definitely a swing trade. We've been in that one just over, 2 days now? Something like that. Euro USD, this is more of a scalp. This is one that we would love to bring in today after the minutes. Let's wait and see which way it goes. Our gold trade, let's see. This trade right here, I would love this scalp right there. If we could get that scalp, gold futures, Augie gold futures, I would be all over that. And then right here, what are we starting to see? That E-mini S&P 500, that S&P 500 really holding firm. Back over to our MT5 platform, MT5 platform brought to you by Switch Markets. Euro Kiwi looking pretty good here. We're getting a bit of a sell-off there in Dell. Remember, we're playing that short in Dell down there to maybe 340-ish, maybe 345. We'll wait and see how that one pans out. This trade, though, is definitely underwater right now. Not too far underwater, but definitely underwater. Euro Kiwi, yeah, that's a pretty good position trade as well. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. And this one's using the 9 EMA trading strategy. If you're interested in that, be sure to check us out over there at Switch. That's one of those that isn't too bad. All right, so as far as what can we really expect out of these minutes, this is what we want to see, just to reinforce the idea of what we're trying to get accomplished here. We want to see how bad the fight is in that boardroom. Remember Kevin Warsh. Warsh put in a tremendous amount of new guidelines of what they're going to use for data, what they're going to try to do moving forward. No more dot plot, no more forward projections, no more forward guidance. Warsh was even talking about cutting down the number of press conferences that they do. So when we go big picture, what is Warsh thinking? Warsh wants to change the whole game. The new Fed chair wants to change the whole game. Well, that's absolutely huge. That's huge for us. Take a look at what happened since Warsh took over. Grab me a weekly chart right here, this dollar index. That's the reason for the season right there. Boom, boom. That was his initial FOMC Live. We had all the live coverage for you here. Check it out. Boom, boom. 2 weeks. First 2 weeks, extremely bullish because they were committed to restoring pricing stability. It meant rate hikes. And then we get that pattern, that little bit of a sell-off last week, and now we're certainly looking to head a little bit higher. We're in a fascinating position, an absolutely fascinating situation, that's for sure. Let me see. FZFX, what about the seasonality pattern possibility within Fed minute in gold? Seasonality pattern. I would throw all the seasonality out the window this year. Throw it out the window. And the reason why I throw it out the window is because the world's at war. We haven't even talked about the Russia-Ukraine situation and how that has increased. Haven't even talked about it. You're at war. Throw seasonality away. Let me see. MR, how did the NASDAQ perform? Good question. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's NASDAQ. You've got the NAS 100 here. Very simple. NASDAQ is very simple right now. You can see nice big Fibonacci wave, all-time high up there right around 30,765. Compression. Key levels 30,000. I'd be looking to sell 30,000s again. That trade's been very good to us. Very, very good to us. It's one of those that we potentially could get into a real nice situation with if it does come our way. Okay, gold coming off big right now. Let's take a look at our scalp. Are we going to have a chance to scalp there? Potentially. E-mini S&P 500 coming off big. This is the one we want. Okay, we've got 5 minutes to showtime. 4 minutes to showtime here. Very, very tentative time to be in the markets. Very tentative time to be trading. You can see that the market very, I would say, alive. I don't know that we're going to take a trade that's that big. You might want to tighten that one up just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and take it and see exactly what happens. Our Bollinger W trade is in trouble. We'll reference that after the minutes just because it is coming off right now. We'll see if we get stopped out on it. We may get stopped. Okay, this trade's coming our way. You can also see gold and the E-mini S&P 500 are definitely selling off big right now. Let me see. Euro US dollar is coming in about 114.20. So it's a very interesting situation here. We've got a winner there going in the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, I believe. And then let's see. Dollar yen looks pretty good. Still watching sort of the Kiwi out of the corner of my eye. This right here, this is pretty good stuff. We're getting good volatility. We're getting good action ahead of this FOMC minutes. This drops in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes from now. So we're definitely active. Let me see. Amir, Great Britain pound USD updates. It's not a bad idea. Look at 30,000 there. Great Britain pound USD. Beautiful trades. I mean, we've been buying. We had an opportunity to bid 132s in a big way not too long ago. That was fantastic. That's for sure. Beautiful run. If you are in the Great Britain pound USD, you definitely want to be aware of what's happening right this minute, which is what? Compression. We've got some beautiful key levels down there. 13-period EMA, 13-day EMA, 133.15. That's absolutely huge. So this is going to be one of those, that the spike low to a spike high. That area right in there, 133 even. That is my support zone. That is exactly what I would be looking at. As far as if you want to make a long trade right now, take that down to a 4-hour chart. Nice big sort of breakout area that we have setting up. Something like that, maybe 133.75. That could be very good for the Great Britain pound. Very good. So I would be keeping a close eye on that one as well. You definitely don't want to get left out in the cold here. U.S. oil coming down about 73.75. We're still about $1 away from our supreme daily entry there. Definitely going to be one of those things. Let me see. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Whitney is not real. Absolutely. We got 2 minutes of this thing dropping. Gold. Do we sell or what, man? Gold. You guys are still talking gold. That's how I want to play gold. I want to buy a pullback from right down there, right around 4,000. 4,065 is what I would like. I don't know that we're going to get it, though. That's for sure. So buy or sell gold. I mean, that's really on you. Please, guys, calm down. Bilal says it's a gold sell. Well, we'll see. Can you check gold? That's gold futures. Or we can go ahead. We can go back to our Bollinger W. We're right around break even now. You can see we don't want our TPO charts here. This is a good look at. We've got the long. We're rocking the long in gold. We are right at our break even. So there was our W strategy. Boom. There's your first leg down. There's a bottom pullback. Second leg down. Second bottom. And then your big green candle. And we took our long. So we're slightly in the positive. We're holding this one. I'd be holding longs right now according to this strategy. My stop out point is down there at about 4,016. And my out's about 41.29. So you're asking me long or short? We put the longs in just a little while ago. We got to wait and see exactly how they pan out. That's for sure. Let's see. I'm watching that E-mini S&P 500, 75.18, somewhere right in there. Interesting. Gold futures, we want that gold futures trade too at about 65, but we just got to wait and see how it pans out. So we're sort of watching this one closely. I think it's an interesting dynamic. You've also seen the Dow Jones Industrial Average sort of trend further down. S&P 500 right around flat, very rotational day. I got a lot of confidence in the S&P trade. I really do. Okay, here we go. There the market drops. It goes against us a little bit. That's not to be unexpected. Euro USD down. Dollar yen rises. And you also see this gold, short-term gold coming off a little bit. What do we got there for the S&P 500? S&P 500, that's the trade we want right there. That's the one we want. We didn't quite get it. How about gold right now? Gold's down there 4,065. Gold futures are still at 75, so we're still we're a ways out of this. Let me see. Can you watch Bitcoin? Yeah, we'll take a look. I'm looking for the statement right now, guys. I'm sure they just released it. All right, we didn't get our trade. There's your pop, though. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. That's life sometimes. Still waiting for the minutes. They haven't dropped them yet. Okay, there they are. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and read some of these developments in the financial markets and open market operations. The manager turned first to an overview of market developments during the intermeeting period. Asset prices were affected by a number of factors, including developments related to the conflict in the Middle East, continued solid real economic data, higher inflation data, and ongoing investment in AI. Optimism around a near-term resolution of conflict in the Middle East and the announcement of a memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran pushed the oil futures curve and near-term inflation and compensation materially lower. That's over now. Okay, that's a big difference now. That's a big deal. Okay, so materially lower relative to the levels from the time of the April FOMC meeting. Expected policy rates, treasury yields, the U.S. dollar, and domestic equity prices all rose. Regarding monetary policy expectations, the manager observed that market participants and responded to the desk survey generally expected no change in the target range of the federal funds rate. Let me see the federal funds rate at the June FOMC meeting. Unbelievable. The manager then discussed inflation expectations. He noted that optimism around the Iran conflict pushed market-based measures of expected inflation significantly lower over the period, leaving near-term inflation expectations only moderately higher than they were before the onset of the conflict. Leaving near-term inflation expectations only moderately higher than they were before the onset of the conflict. Longer-term inflation expectations remained well anchored near the committee's 2% long-run inflation objective. So the committee had a big discussion and said, hey, listen, inflation's not as bad as we think it is. Can you believe that? What happens now? What happens at the next meeting when the MOU is dead as fried chicken? Then what? What do we do when this is the headline? What happens when this becomes the headline in the financial markets over the next 6 weeks? What happens then? What happens then? Absolutely unbelievable. You can see right here, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the live chat if you guys care to read this for yourself. There you go. Put those links out in the live chat. So if you're interested in reading the thing yourself, go ahead and do so. This is what we're watching. We're watching to see, okay, right there, breaking news. Fed officials were split on direction of interest rates at the last meeting minutes show. Federal Reserve officials were split last month about the future. We can go ahead and watch price action about the future of interest rates, with policymakers entertaining scenarios in either direction, according to the meetings. In Warsh's first meeting as chairman of the Fed, participants saw outcomes where inflation could erase and allow lower rates, while others envisioned a scenario where price increases stay elevated and lead to hikes. During his post-meeting press conference, Warsh billed the debate as a family fight that ended with the committee unanimously voting to keep the Fed's benchmark federal funds rate anchored in the range between 3.5 to 3.75, where it's been for all of 2026. Absolutely unbelievable. So there's a hell of a fight going on in that boardroom. And there's a fight, they're fighting Warsh on the way that he wants to take interest rates, the way that he wants to take the Fed's role in the broader economy in the old guard. Remember, Jerome Powell is still on that FOMC. He decided to stay as a member. So Powell is in that boardroom. He's in the boardroom. So Warsh, here's the new coach, And you've got the old coach. The old coach is probably planting seeds with the members to undermine him. This is fascinating. We have never seen anything like this in a long time, in a long, long time. So we're watching this stuff closely. Let's get back on over to our gold. I know everybody loves gold. Gold's back positive. I really like this trade. I think that if I was interested, think about what we just saw there. They didn't see they saw the inflation as not being as big of a problem as everybody was making it out to be. What about today? Now that the Strait of Hormuz is closed again, now that we're interested in potentially prolonging the war, maybe firing the war back up, all of a sudden things like ground troops come back into play. Things like large-scale U.S. strikes come back into play. Let's go over to Poly Market. We'll check our odds, and then we'll check our interest rate expectations. Buy gold. Valkyrie, buy or sell, buy or sell. Why are we watching 30-minute charts? Because easy doodle fun. 30-minute charts will make you money. They really will. E-mini S&P 500, that was an absolutely beautiful look. 30-minute charts, I get a lot of static for looking at the longer time frames. Believe me, the shorter the time frame, the bigger the headache. All right, let's go ahead. We'll go NASDAQ. Let's see what we can do a little bit of work here. We'll go NASDAQ, 1-minute chart. We'll turn off all of our volume stats and just try to trade technicals. E-mini NASDAQ futures. This is what everybody's trading these days, especially on the internet because it's so crazy. This market's crazy. It's insane. It jumps around. Nobody really knows what's going on with the E-mini NASDAQ. So what can we really do here? There's lots of things we can do to make money. Fibonacci's are my weapon of choice. We can do something like that. What would I be looking at right now? 38%'s gone. How about 62%? 29,365. All right, I'm game. Let's execute. Order. Buy. Limit. We're going to rock 2 lots down there. I'm going long right there. Right above my 62% retracement of that 1 minute. What's my take profit going to be? This is what we call just buying a bump. We're just looking for a bump. That's it. Short time frames. I mean, this is about as risky as trading gets. 1 minute time frame. We got a decent release. That's why I really wanted to stress to everybody that, okay, the numbers sort of dropped, but you didn't get the big rush of volume right there. Okay, big volume there. It was a bid. Nobody even knew what was in the document yet. Then we come off, and now we're starting to get a big sell, and now the market's sort of quieting down a little bit. Broader perspective, NASDAQ 100, E-mini NASDAQ futures. We're right there. We're right at 0%, 0.01%. What does that mean? In the broader scheme of things, nothing. It means we've got a flat day. We've got a flat day on our hands, at least with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's performing much better than the Dow. The Dow is getting slammed. The S&P 500 is down a little bit, but it's not down a lot of bit. So sort of a rotational day. We could say that the Dow Jones is sort of trending down a little bit. Inside of a rotational day, trading a 1 minute chart is problematic at best. Problematic. Let me see. Bond Coin, I'm in shorts here. Okay, let me see. Oh, best of luck. I'm wondering what you're shorting. Let me see. Hawkish. What about gold, hot dog? What about gold? Buy, 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 buy. All right. We've got clown emojis. We've got laughing emojis. I remember when I used to laugh trading, right? Are we selling the US 30 or buying? Personally, I would sell it. I mean, it's a down day, no question about it. You go right here if you're interested. So there's your US 30 chart on a 4-hour. I wouldn't be looking at 4 hours if I'm trading this thing. You go right to a 30-minute. What do you have? It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Maybe something like that. That's what the market profile, not the market profile people are going to tell you. That's what the ICT guys are going to say. Oh, you got to get in on that liquidity sweep at 6:30 a.m. with very little volume. I'm not even remotely interested in selling from there. However, we could do something like this. We could go to a daily and see if we have any levels at all that we could potentially play. It ain't great. It ain't great. Spike high, spike low. 52.5, maybe somewhere right up in there, but we're not going to get there today probably. Maybe late day. We've got right there, you've got the 13-day moving average going at about 331, excuse me. You could potentially take a long right now. I think it's a bad idea. I really do. 30-minute chart. What I would be looking to do is something like this. I would go to E-mini Dow futures, and I would go ahead and pull up my market profile tool, and I'd say, what's happening right now? Bottom end of value. Look at this. Overnight value area. Okay, there's your plunge right there. There's your plunge. Coming out of the NATO summit, Trump's comments from earlier were not good. Really roiled the Dow. Okay, sent it sort of reeling. Value area low right there. Point of control. Point of control right around 52.6. Right now we're 52.631. Am I a buyer or a seller right now in the US 30? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Am I a buyer or a seller? Probably neither. I don't really, if you sell it, you can sell it. But just look at where you're doing business right now. I want everybody to understand the volume profile and what that is. That shows you all the volume that's come in on this futures contract at these price points. You're right in the middle of it. That's called a normal distribution, essentially. So what you want to do is you want to figure out a way to target these areas. These areas to have a tendency to get filled in. Are we going to trade to the value area high? Maybe, maybe not. This area right in here, that chain is extremely thin. That chain is extremely thin. So one train of thought would be to take a long right here. Let's go ahead and just do it. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll go trade. Paper trading. Everything I do here is paper. Remember, I don't want any regulators bothering me. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm not giving even any monetary advice at all. Let's be very, very sure. Everybody knows that. Paper money, demo dollars. However, you could probably knock your evaluation account dead. Something like this. So let's say we just went long. For the sake of argument, went long from the point of control. All right, point of control is right down in here, somewhere right around 52.609. We bought 52.630s. That's fine. We're not going to play this too accurate, right? So if I was going to make a take profit, that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for a run at 53. Essentially, we're looking at 52.9. We're looking for about a 300-point rally from here. Does that put us in the green for the day? No, not really. Puts us probably still down about 200 points. So that's what we're looking at. That would be that trade idea. Is it a good one? And where would you stop yourself out at? Now, that's the problem when you run into these really dirty markets. I call them dirty because we are doing business right there in the middle of that distribution, that normal distribution, that Gaussian curve, that bell curve, whatever you want to call it. We're doing that. And what we're looking for right there is what we call a fat tail move or a tail move. That means that we're going to break containment of this curve, and then we're going to go out, get into the end of that tail. Is that a good thing for us to be doing? It's profitable right now. Do we have a shot at it breaking up to 2,800? I'm not overly optimistic. I'm not. I would be surprised if we actually break and make a serious run at that chain. However, it is very possible. So I've got two parts of my trade. I've got my entry down, which is okay. I've got my top side target, which is probably my favorite part of this trade, because I know once we get above this, once we break contain and we start doing work out on the end of this tail, we fill that in fast. Where's my stop loss, though? Where the hell am I going to stop myself out at? If you don't have a stop loss, you don't have anything. Where? Stop myself out down here? The odds of us hitting that trade are nil. They're not good. So where do I stop myself out at? Beneath the daily low? It's not worth it. That big of a stop loss isn't worth it. We're not even get paid off at a 1-to-1. So where? Down in here somewhere, like an arbitrary number? Maybe we just put it beneath 52.5. We could do stuff like that, and then it's still a 1-to-2. Just understand your stop loss location is definitely arbitrary. Definitely arbitrary. In any case, that trade right there, if you were going to take a position for the rest of the day, that's not a bad one. Just remember, you are doing business right in the guts of where everybody else has been doing business. No question about it. All right, how's our NQ trade going? We haven't even got it yet. Frustrating, right? Nice sell-off. 38%'s been money in the bank on a 1-minute chart. How about our gold trade? Our gold trade's rocking and rolling. It's doing exactly what we need it to do, and that's fantastic. So is this a dovish or a hawkish FOMC minutes? What's happened to the dollar? Let's go to the DXY dollar index. Dollar's coming off. What does that mean? It's dovish, right? The key part of that FOMC minutes release was the lack of urgency from the FOMC to start slashing interest rates, to hike interest rates to combat inflation. They don't want to slash them. They're not going to do that, but they were dovish in what they were talking about. Crazy stuff. Gold is in the green. Gold is in the green. Check out a couple of our other trades over on our MT5 platform. We're going to do all right in this Dell short. Dell stock short, we're going to do all right there. This trade over here, not doing too shabby. Euro Kiwi, we're off. We got that one in the green. Not bad at all. All right, let's get back over here. Dollar index coming off just a little bit. This was a trade. Let's see. Back in the green for this Euro USD trade. We got some really good trades setting up. Dollar yen sort of pairing some of its gains. You could probably take the money off of that one if you wanted to. How about the US dollar, Canadian dollar? This is the one that I really wanted to see rocking and rolling. And I think this one's got a good shot. 920 EMA crossover right there. There was the sell downside target. You've got an incredible chance there because what do you have? Think about it. Dollar CAD, what do you have? You got WTI crude oil sort of stronger now that the war seems to be back on. And then you've got a Fed that is being perceived as weak or dovish. Absolutely fantastic. So we're in decent shape here. A couple of these trades are going in our favor. As far as this trade right here, like I said, I mean, okay, point of control. They just moved the point of control up 15 minutes. So what could you do right now? Do you want the money or not? You're up $250 on that trade. I'll leave that up to you. Gold is definitely up right here. I like this Euro USD long. I like this long. I think this is the way of it. I think I would be fading the US dollar right now. So we've got a lot going on. A couple other things I want to cover here, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everybody for joining me today for the FOMC Minutes. Let me see. Julius Caesar, are we actually dovish? Yep. I have a long position, Mad Worm. Stick with it, Mad. Don't let the stress get you. I do options, but it looks a little different. Studio, you do whatever you got to do to make money. There's 2 rules on my live streams. I'm not going to BS you, and if it makes money, it's the right answer. Let me see. Cager, what indicator is the volume profile? Volume profile is this one right up here. You're going to go to profiles, time price opportunity. That's what it is on TradingView. I don't believe we have that on MT5. I'd love to get our U.S. oil trade, but we're still about $1 off of it. Let me see. Good TV subscribed. Absolutely. Would like to watch futures. Yeah, I hear you. Hell yeah, dovish. Great Britain, U.S. dollar won't sell. Kiana Seffer, say my name. Say my name. I'd love to. Gold to 3,800 soon before the rally to 6K. You're not wrong, King. You're not wrong. I mean, I tend to agree with you. Gold, we've got levels down there. We outlined them at the beginning of the stream. Go back and rewind it. Let me see. Cloudy, did you do Bitcoin? No, I forgot. I got carried away. We were too busy doing other stuff. Bitcoin, I'm going to show you some long-term levels, and you guys are probably going to roll your eyes. I'll get some people laughing at me going, you don't know crypto, you don't know anything, yada, yada. That's cool with me. I don't care. I know levels, and I know macro levels, and I know macro levels work. This is a yearly chart. Go on your favorite live streamer and say, hey, this idiot's using yearly charts. Yearly chart. Right there. Those bottoms down in January 2022 all the way to your spike high of January 2025, right? Big negative year. Down about 30%. That's the line in the sand. 62% is the line in the sand for the uptrend. You're looking at 57.8. Somewhere in there, 57.8. Absolutely huge. We had a trade idea. Bounce right off of that. We cashed in easily. It was worth about, 3,000 pips. We bought, we bought 58 fives and we sold 61 fives. Something like that was fantastic. Daily chart. This is the game, Cloudy. If you're interested in Bitcoin, this is the game. We've got sort of that top side level, 70,000. I mean, I hate to make it so simple, but 70,000 and 58, that's key. That's absolutely key. Now, here's where things get sticky. When we go to our monthly, the levels don't move, right? The levels don't move monthly. You can see that we hit it perfect. We bounced up. Take a look at this area right here. If you guys are ICT people, if you're Smart Money Concept, that's an order block. What else is it? We made a bunch of videos on ICT and stuff, and you can see right there. Okay, so there was sort of your baseline of this market. What is this? Rally, base, rally. What is that? That's the base. That is exactly where we're fighting right now. If we break beneath that 62 level, we're not just going a little bit lower, we're going a lot lower. You're going to 50. You're going to 40. So be questioning this market. 70,000 is probably a sell for me right now. 58.5 is a buy. Let me see Ralph H. over in the How to Trade community. Shane, I love your honesty and no BS. Do my best, Ralph. I do my best to get after it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let me see. Kylie Smith on X. Take back your freedom and challenge the status quo. There you have it. Promoing a conference, a red pill conference, huh? In Vegas. God, I haven't been to Vegas in years. Well, congratulations, Kylie. Thanks for weighing in. No pump or dump. So is the FOMC Minutes party? The FOMC Minutes is gone. Cloudy. Analysts are calling for a 47,000 bottom on Bitcoin. Well, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. The bottom, I mean, let's just get rid of all my squiggles, but the bottom is worse. It's more like 40. 13-year EMA. My 13-period EMA is my bread and butter. 13-year EMA, 38,800. It coincides with 78% of that yearly range, 39,000. It's 40, Cloudy. It's 40, Cloudy. Black Dragon, thank you, Black Dragon. I sure appreciate it. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to ask. Sorry, guys, I missed way. I mean, I got so far behind. It's very active live chat. KJR, what are your settings for the time price opportunity daily? So you're going to go here. You're going to go indicator. You're going to go profiles, time price opportunity. You take the top one right there. You put it on settings, inputs, period 1, block size, 30 minutes. I'm going to tell you, and another thing, the TPO, that's for futures. Futures and stocks. 30-minute price bars give you the volume distribution that you need to survive. I'm really a firm believer in that, and definitely the bread and butter of what I like to do, especially in the summer months. All right, everybody, a couple of things to look at here before we sign off. We do have to talk a little bit of news here. You guys sort of know, a lot about prediction markets. Prediction markets are becoming huge. They've become huge. And what that means is they're a tool for us traders. They're a tool. These are the markets I'm watching. I don't have an account on Polymarket. I'm not promoting them or anything like that. So don't take any of this the wrong way. But these odds give us a real good idea about which way some of these negotiations are headed. Let me see. Iran announces withdrawal from MAU. I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Carg Island, we're always watching Carg Island. This one right here is the number one market driver. No question about it. Strait of Hormuz traffic to return to normal by July 31st. Only a 5% chance. That means that the oil markets are going to be, at their core, they're going to be bullish. I don't really care where they're trading. We spotted 68. We saw 68s. We understand that was the key level. That was the opening war gap. We filled it in. Beautiful trades. That's over with now. Are we bullish or bearish gold? Or bullish or bearish crude oil? Now, slightly bullish. And the reason why is the Strait of Hormuz, there's a very little chance that returns to normal by the end of July. What happens then? Oil gets tight again. What happens if it doesn't go back to normal? What if the Strait of Hormuz stays effectively closed? Look at this. By December, only a 60-40 chance. Take a look at what's happened here. And that was on July 3rd. This was done. Look at where we're at now. If the Strait of Hormuz is closed for business in December, we're going to go into a global recession like we haven't seen since 2008. They've got to open it, and it's got to stay open. That's for sure. So that's my last sort of point of I don't know. That's pretty much it. That's my last point I want to make. That's a big one. All right, gold sort of stagnating. Spot gold at 40.70. We didn't get any of our futures trades, did we? No, not really. We had some good ones too. Euro USD, that one's trending higher. I'm loving that. That's headed higher. Dollar CAD, that one looks good as well. The Euro Kiwi, that one's fantastic. And I think Dell stock's going to start coming off in a big, big way. So there you go. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. And Kiana, I'm from Iran. Well, thanks for joining the live streams, Kiana. You probably have insights into the situation like I don't. I'm doing this from Dillon, Montana in the United States. But I can tell you this. The business is picking up. The war looks like it's back on. And if that is in fact the case and the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed by December, you're going to see a meltdown and a half. That's for sure. All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Fiat 512 Eli. Good to see you, Eli. What about Russia and Ukraine? I'm going to have to cover it more tomorrow. Remember, if you guys like anything you see, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to the channel. Head on over to Switch Markets. I put all those links in the live stream. You're going to want to check out Switch, get you up and running with an account in 5 minutes or less. And then also, if you have anything that you need, you can reach out to me over at thehowtotrade.com. Sign up for a free account. Subscribe for a free account. You can click on my picture, send me a private message, and I will get back to you. I write most of those by hand. Sometimes we have a few things that we send out to you just to keep you aware of what we're doing here, but we have an opportunity potentially to get up and running with you individual traders. That's why I'm here, is to help out the best I can. I've been a career trader since 2011, been through a lot, lots of ups, lots of downs. We've been doing these live streams for the last 5 years, and it's been a lot of fun and a real rewarding experience to get to work with traders all over the world. So we have an international community here. That's what we promote. We're here to help each other and kick some tail and make money in the meantime. Remember, if it makes money, it's the right answer. That's all I can say about it. All right, guys, I'm out. Have a fantastic trading session. As always, trade the action well, and we'll talk soon. See you. A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus. Trade with Switch Markets.